God. When it comes to being somebody, I feel that when it comes to being somebody that see people coming to the game as just wet behind the ears, broke, not knowing what the hell's going on, to being stone cold veterans in the game, how do you feel like fame, money, and access changes a person from the time they walk in the door to when they walk out the door?
I mean, fame and money is access. So that, like, it changes everything for that person. Like, it's like you almost can look at people when they were famous early, as opposed to if they became famous as an adult after trying to be famous, right? I'll give you an example. Tip has a better grasp on fame and reality than most people because he was able to watch it for a year. Yeah. Like, when he was making his album, I was making 8701 too. So he went everywhere I went. So he saw everything that I saw. He saw everything that Usher was doing. He saw all the moves that was making, but he also was able to see the people around Usher react to Usher. Like, he was also able to see people prepare to see you and act like they didn't see you. Like, oh shit, oh, that's Usher. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, so he has an advantage of some bullshit. Some of this is like, so like, if you ever hear him, he say shit like, hey man, if you live for the A's, you're gonna die with the Bulls. Come on. And because he's able to, you know what I'm saying, he was able to see it. Most people aren't able to see how they got famous or how fame changes the people around them. So yeah, it changes because people act the way for you. If they think you have power, if they think you have money, if they think you have something that can help them, they cater different.
What was your favorite time in the game, KP, where you felt like you was having the time of your damn life and everything was going right?
Now.
Talk to me. And how did you get to
right
now then?
Yeah, like, by going through all the shit, it didn't go right.
Ooh.
Like, it's going righter now than it has before because I know more.
Yeah.
So it's like, last night was amazing. Today's, like, this is incredible. Like, when I leave here, it's going to be the shit. Like,
that's right.
You know, like, I look forward to shit being better. So, yeah.
Linking up with Pharrell. How the hell did y'all link up? And then I got to go straight to it. That Kendrick Lamar, all right, man.
My
God.
How we hooked up? I mean, we hooked up during 8701 Usher.
Yeah.
We remained friends. He worked on everything from John Legend that I've done to Tip to Omarion. Like, anything I've done, he's probably worked on, right? Yeah. But it's because he's a solid dude. Yeah. So when he was right before Happy, Blurred Lines, and Get Lucky all dropped, right? We were talking, and I was working at Atlantic, and we were working on something. He came in, did this record. He did Happy. He came in to work with CeeLo to do Happy. Somebody at the label didn't think the record was a hit. We ended up talking. He puts the record out himself. And he didn't want to be an artist at the time. He was just like, man, I want CeeLo. How about Janelle Monáe? How about some? You know, he was just like everywhere. I'm like, bro, just
do it your damn self.
You already did it. Like, it's already there. Just do it. But, you know, a year later, the shit's now huge. It's the biggest record ever. Yeah. I'm at work, and somebody says something to me like that I didn't appreciate, and I'm like, this ain't really working. So I left, and I called Pharrell, like, hey man, I just left. He's like, good, come over here, come run this. Yeah. Bet. And that's how that happened. And then, so by the way, All Right happened before that. What? All Right happened because we were in Miami doing Kendrick Lamar. I mean, Cap G. He was working on something else, and he had a beat, and on some A&R shit, like, people ask me shit, and I'm like, you know, why don't you try this? Yeah. And he was like, okay, cool. And he tried the thing, it worked, and he was like, so he's like, you know, you wrote that. And he was like, so he gave me writer's credit. And that's how, you know.
When you look up and you see all of the massive records that you've been a part of, which one was the biggest record, and which record was the surprise record that you didn't see going that crazy, but it went out of here?
Probably All Right, actually, because All Right, the original thing happened in probably 2012. The record didn't come out till 2015. Like, it went through somebody else had the record. It was done for somebody else. They didn't take the record. took the vocals off, but the hook stayed. He played it for Kendrick in, was that 14, 15? Mm-hmm. And it came out a week later and became that. And it happened in a way that it was like, I don't even know if it's the most surprising or it's most big. It's the biggest record, but it's a record that means something different. Because like the first time, what happened was somebody sent me a video of there was a protest in Baltimore, and they were walking down the street chanting it, and I was like, damn, it like that changed it, like, and then for that to be the record that turns around and gets a Grammy, like I've been in the business 25 years.
Yeah.
Like I worked on a bunch of things that received Grammys, but they were, I've got a bunch of certificates of the work I've done, contributions on this album, but to have my own Grammy for that song, which means this to so many people, and it kind of, it's a summation, I feel like, of what my career is. It's like it's quality, it's some ghetto shit, it's some real shit. It sticks.
Move the culture for it.
And so, and it's a bunch of dope people.
Okay, being somebody that's seen it all and been a part of some of the biggest stuff that happened in hip hop, what still gets you excited? Do you see anything you like, oh man, this shit is crazy? Or is it, what I done seen it all, I'm tired of this shit?
No, I'm excited all the time. Like last night I saw like a crowd of Clark kids rush Lil Baby's Corvette as he tried to get out the venue.
That gonna happen.
That shit made me smile, bro. Like, I enjoy. Like, there's never a point where human reaction in a positive way doesn't make me feel good, and that's the thing I'm excited about. It's like I think that's what music gets us to get off. Like as a DJ, I get to get that off.
Yeah.
Like when somebody go, oh, when I see that happen,
yeah,
that's exciting to me.
Exactly.
So it's like as long as I can figure out how to do things through art that affect people, like I'm excited for the opportunity.
Was there ever any times that it just wasn't fun to you anymore, you wanted to quit, and then what was it that kept you in the game moving forward?
I think, okay, at Sony there was a moment because like I got fired when I was at Sony in 2007. So, but that year was a year that, like, I had John Legend out, Bow Wow. I had things that were working.
God damn.
And I had probably contributed to some other things that weren't necessarily my projects, but I was doing well.
Yeah.
But it was a regime change, and and I was like, damn, this shit can happen like that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was like, I was almost like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But. And this is game for executives, I guess. So the beauty of contracts is if you have a contract with somebody and they want to change their mind, they still got to pay you.
Yeah.
So I was able to, like, I got paid for my contract, and that allowed me to come back home to Atlanta, buy a house with a studio in the basement. I brought this kid Malay down. At the time, I say this kid. Then he was a new producer. Brought him down. We started producing together. I started having fun again.
Yeah.
I had my studio, my DJ shit in the house, and I was, shit was moving. We did Yellow Wolf in my basement.
Crazy.
Fucking Maya, Fantasia, Green Light for John Legend. We worked, and it was like that was fun. It felt like the dungeon. What I realized is every time I get weird about not liking it, all I got to do is go back to the music part.
Yeah.
Like anytime it gets weird, if there's a place to be creative, there's a place to get that energy off.
When you think about the corporate side of the music game, man, and then just the independent entrepreneurial side of it, is it worth it to try to climb that corporate ladder, or should somebody, try to get into the music game totally independent? How do you feel about that?
I think different people need different stuff, bro. Like, if you're an artist who is going to do the work for real, you're gonna go out there and grind and work. Independent, I would suggest. Because it's like, if you're going to do all that work, you might as well get as much money as you can for it.
Yeah.
But there are some artists that want to just create and kind of sit back and let a machine move them. And by the way, and some artists aren't, it doesn't make one artist better or worse. It's just like, it's specific to the person, bro. Like, and I think if you have a knack for it. Like I have a friend who has climbed the corporate ladder in publishing, John Platt.
Yeah.
I'm so happy he did because it's somebody that we know and somebody who's protecting the culture in there. And he has the temperament, the skin. He got everything that it takes to do it.
Yeah.
And he's making a difference. For me, it's not that because the higher up you get, for me, I like being close to creative. I like being close to the ground floor of the process. So that doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
But luckily, I have the relationships to do, to get wherever I need to be based on all the work that I've done.
Thanks.
So for me, it wasn't the way. But I feel like I came out all right,
Thanks. DJing, Afro Punk. I mean, all of these different sold out shows. What is that
Well, they're
like?
festivals, so I don't
Festival shows. Them things is crazy.
Yeah,
okay. Talk to me about pivoting into DJing and how much joy are you getting out of that now?
Well, I've been a DJ all the time. Like, I've never not been a DJ. That's the whole part. Like, I came in as a DJ. I met LL Cool J. I zeroed in on Cut Creator.
Yeah.
Like, I understood that that's what I can be. I can do that.
Yeah.
And I met my homeboy Troy. I met Corey's brother Troy DJing.
Yeah.
And all that DJing got me through every door I was supposed to do. We got our deal at with Pebbles because we brought my turntables down. We did a show. I was up there doing tricks and shit. Like I was doing, like we were a full-fledged thing, right? But for me, it was the DJing part that was always the home base. So it's like ultimately, like if the record ain't jamming, people don't move.
Facts. How do you determine whether a record is jamming or not? Do you have the ear for that, or is it based off of the reaction of the crowd when you play it to folks? How do you know?
Yeah, I think it's a little of both. I got a gut. I got a gut that I think, and I think I have an understanding of music enough to know how things feel, like in comparison to other things. So it's like, and I ain't saying that like if I listen to a Lil Baby song, I don't think about it like, is it as good as a Gucci Mane song? I think of it as, is it as good as a New Edition song? Do I feel like, how does it stick?
Yeah.
Like, how do I feel about it, right? So it's that first, and then when you play it and get that gratification when other people's, it's like connect to it too.
Yeah.
It's like, that's for me as an artist, as a DJ. Like, that's my artist shit where, like, my taste connects to enough people to make it, like, almost true.
Crazy.